All right, guys, how you doing? I had a little bit of a technical difficulty. We have problems with our Be Live television, TV, Be Live TV. It's so shitty to be T Live. Anyway, let me get it set up. It was showed I was live, then I wasn't live. I'm alive now. How are you all doing? So, guess what happened to me today? I had my what is this? I had my microwave broke. We all know the microwave hood broke, and I am not going to get a new microwave because I've been living just fine without a microwave. And the only thing I really miss is heating up my coffee. So I have actually an Instahot uh, thing that I got for like $10. I was going to give it away at a garage sale. I'm going to sell it, but I'm going to actually keep it because I can just maybe pour my coffee in there, make it hotter, and have that there. Better to spend $10 than $700 or $800 on a microwave hood that I just don't even like. Then now my LG wash machine top loader that I'm not really a fan of, the LG top loader brand. Now it's about 5, 6 years old. I need a whole new motherboard. I need a whole new dispenser. It's, so when you're going to have a problem, everything happens. So I'm a top load girl. Are you a top load or a front load? What do you like? Top load, front load? Let me know. But what I wanted to talk about today, and I'm going to try and share my screen on Be Live because I'm not sure how to do it, but I'm going to try, because what I wanted to talk to you guys about today was the client questionnaire for a kitchen project. Now, is I often send my clients a packet before I work with them. And one of the things I will do is try and email them. And if they don't answer it, I'll have them I'll go through it in person with the client right then and there. And the reason for the client questionnaire is to try and get to know your client and how they live. What do they need storage for? How do they use the kitchen? Who uses the kitchen? Where is your kitchen project? If they're doing a kitchen project and it's up in the country, you're going to treat that a little different than if you were going to say it's a kitchen in a city apartment, or a kitchen with young family, or a kitchen with older retired people. So the client questionnaire is to help the client think about what they need to do in their project, and also help you to glean information on what they're looking to do, because people don't know how to say what they want. They know, I just want all these great things, but you have to verbalize that and put that in writing to be able to communicate that. So we can't see other people's brains. We can't get in their brains. But I wanted to, now let me see if I can show this in the stream on my entire screen. No, see, I don't know how to do this. Share my entire screen. No, because I really want to I wanted to put up the client questionnaire, but I can't get it there. So I'm going to just open it here on my desktop. I don't know if I can share my screen. Let's see if it'll share. If I go like this, and see, I don't know how to do it. I don't know. It won't let me upload a picture either. You can only upload, I don't know, video files, PDFs, not my PDFs. I couldn't upload a PDF. So my client questionnaire is this. I just really wish I could figure that out. Let's see if I can share my screen. Screen, a window. Is this it here? Client questionnaire. Okay, let's see if I can share that. Okay, so let me see. Screen share. Okay, I did it. Show in screen. So let me just make that bigger. Okay. So my client questionnaire, is it going to roll? It's not even doing it. Client questionnaire. Very frustrating. So I'm just going to read it, and then I'll put the link in as an attachment to my video. Okay. So the client questionnaire. First of all, remember to take the date. You want to be able to put your logo, your name at the top. And this is a client questionnaire. You're going to be doing an intake. Put the date of when you're doing things. And first, you want to put in the name, your project address, because sometimes where the customer lives and the project is taking place are two different places. So you want to make sure that you have the address where the actual construction is taking place. And also you want to know off the bat, what is their projected start date? When are they looking to start their project? So we're establishing where the project is and when the client wants to start their project. Then the next thing you need to do is ask what kind of a building it is. So you should be able to get this information before you've even stepped into the house. So you're going to ask the homeowner, what is the type of building are you in? Are you in an incorporated village? That changes all of the building permits and all the procedures that you need and documentation that you need to perform a kitchen renovation or a bathroom renovation or any kind of renovation in a incorporated village. Whether it's commercial or residential, you have to go through the village, not only through the town. Then, and you also want to know, is it a condominium or is it a co-op? Is it a single family? Is it a multi-story apartment building? If so, what floor are you on? And then if it's a private house, is it slab construction? Is it crawl space construction? Is it a full unfinished basement or a full finished basement? You have to find all these things out. So because where you're going to be running your pipes and where you're going to be doing any kind of moving, you need to know what's underneath the area that's going to be renovated. And that goes for a kitchen or a bathroom. So then you want to ask the client their objections. So you're going to say like, okay, so what do you want to gain out of your kitchen renovation? So that you get the client talking about their kitchen objections. And so you're going to say, I want to renovate. I want to bring it up to date. Get them thinking, what is it that you really want to do? I want to change the footprint. I just want to spruce it up. I want to knock it out and start all over. Get their idea of what they want their kitchen project to look like. Then you want to find out how many household members are there, how many are, and how old are they? Like how many people? Like if it's just you, then right, just me. There's no right or wrong answer, but you need to get to know your clients. So you're going to say like, well, who lives with you? You live with your mother, you live with your father, you live with your aunt, you live with your children, you live alone, you live with your your partner, you live whatever your living situation is. you're going to ask for that space. What is the living situation? It could be a weekend place where there's only one or two people there on the weekend. So we're going to approach that project completely different than we do a family with three little children and a stay-at-home house home keeper and meal planner and all that other stuff. So you're going to ask them people in the house. Then you're going to go, are there any pets? Do I have dogs? Do I have cats? Do I have gerbils? Do I have birds? What kind of pets do you have? Then you also want to know, how often do you entertain? How often do you take people come to your house? So not only do you have this existing people that you are designing for, but then possibly they entertain. You'll get people who entertain every single weekend. Their whole entire family comes over. You can have people who only entertain 2 or 3 times a year. Other people who have big entertainments several times a year with 20, 30, 40 people. So you want to ask the people, how are they entertaining? Not that they're throwing a party, but just when does company come? When is more people coming? More people equals more things going on in the kitchen. And then how many people use the kitchen daily? Like you might have a family of 6, but really only 1 or 2 people use the kitchen daily. Like someone's always preparing dinner, someone's always preparing lunch. So you want to know who is cooking in the kitchen. It could be also, well, when the kids come home from school, I have my 14-year-old daughter who prepares snacks for the younger kids while I'm out working and I don't come home until 6 o'clock. So the routine, you're establishing what is going on in their kitchen and who's using it on a daily basis. And how many meals do you prepare in the kitchen? Do you prepare daily? Do you prepare your lunch? Do you prepare your breakfast? Do you prepare your dinner? Like every meal is different, and who uses it and how often you use it is different. So then what are your top 3 cooking methods? Do they like to use the steamer? Do they use, some nationalities use a rice steamer every day. Some people fry bread every day. So there are daily things that some people make salad every day. So what are there any daily things that you do every day in the kitchen? It could be that you just make a shake every day. And also, what are your 3 cooking methods? Meaning, do you use your cooktop? Do you use your microwave? Do you use your oven? Do you use your toaster oven? What, do you like to stir fry? What's your main method of cooking? And also, do you bake? Do you make cakes? Do you make cookies? Do you make muffins? So, do you bake? Some people bake all the time. Some people barely bake. Some people love to bake. Some people never bake. Everybody's different. So you want to know, do you bake? And if yes, detail your 5 basic, your top most used baking appliances, meaning, or utensils. So meaning I use my KitchenAid mixer lift up thing 2 or 3 times a week because I make homemade biscuits. I don't know. Or I use my wok every day for stir frying my vegetables. So you want to know what is their most used utensils and their most used baking apparatuses. And then how many cooks prepare the food at one time? So you say, well, I only cook. My husband does the cooking. My children do the cooking. There's 2 of us. There's 4 of us. There's nobody. How many people do the cooking? And do you have one? I always like to ask people if they have that large KitchenAid mix-up lifter shelf, because many people have it, but they put it in the closet and they don't really use it, or they use it and it's always sitting on their countertop and they hate it there. So I'll tell you in a minute about that. And then how many cooks prepare the food at one time? Who's in the kitchen? And do you have gas or electric cooking appliances? Okay, so here's my first line. I've established where they are, where the project is located, what kind of construction I'm having. Is it a gas or electric coming through as my cooking methods, source rather, and what does the client want to get out of it? I've learned how many people are in the house, if they have pets, how often they use the kitchen, who uses the kitchen, what kind of food they're cooking on a daily basis, and I'm learning their five top favorite cooking utensils and cooking products. So all of that I've established in just so I've established, well, if there's two cooks in the kitchen, I need to establish area for two people to pass back and forth. Meaning, if I was going to have an area between two countertops and I wanted to, squeeze in my 48 inches and I had to squeeze it to 39, it's not the ideal, but it's doable. But that wouldn't allow for two people to pass back and forth. So I've established the use of the space, what kind of things they need storage for, what their favorite cooking is, and who is in the space on a daily basis and on a non-daily basis. So all of that I've established so that I know going forward, I've got a gas line, I've got an elderly person, I've got children, she likes to bake, she hates to cook, they order in. I've got all that information. The next step is for them to take an inventory of their pots. Now, a lot of times customers say, well, oh, my pots, what do you mean my inventory of pots? Just think about it. I need to know my pots take up one cabinet. I don't have a lot of pots. And I don't need a lot of pots in my kitchen. I don't like to do a lot of cooking. My husband likes to do cooking. So I have one cabinet full of pots, and I like to keep it like that. So everybody has their own pot. Do you have large pots? You get them thinking, well, a large pot, like, what do you mean? Well, do you make lobster? Do you have a lobster pot? Oh, yes, I would love to have my lobster pot in the kitchen. Do you make stews? Do you have, I have big pots. I have 2 or 3 big pots. I have small frying pans. I have bacon pans, bacon trays, bacon sheets. I have platters. I have trays. So you want them to go down the list and approximate. They don't have to go around their house and start numbering how many things they have. They could say, I got like 2 or 3 small pots. I got like maybe 5 large pots. So I'm thinking large pots. Height. So I would want maybe adjustable height rollouts for large pots. So if I had roasting pans, I need something wide to be able to fit a roasting pan in. So then if I have trays, I need an area for my trays. Is it going to be above the refrigerator? Is it going to be in a cabinet on the base below? Do they have a lot of Tupperware or Rubbermaid storage? How many do they have knives that they need storage for? And do they have Corningware, any other kind of bakeware? The La Cornue, that's a stove. Or maybe it is one of those things. Well, those enamel, cast iron enamel, I don't even know what you call it now. Can you think of it? Crock pot. You have all of these things that you need to have storage for in your kitchen. So you're taking an inventory of what's in their kitchen. Now, then you want to know how many small appliances they have. You'll have some people that have hardly any small appliances, and other people who have so many small appliances that they absolutely love the little appliances and they want them all in there. I'm meaning a hand mixer, a chopper, a salad spinner, your Cuisinart thing, the food processor, all these kind of things you might need storage for. So you need to get an inventory, because every time somebody says something that they need, you have to put it someplace. Oh, they need this. Let me put it someplace. Oh, they need that. Let me put it someplace. So you're putting things where they say, "Do you have a chef knife storage?" Me? No, I don't. I'm not a chef knife. I just need knives, area for knives, but I'm not a chef. I don't have knives that I send out to get sharpening. There are people that do. Then you also want to get into their food storage needs. So now we're getting into the food. We're thinking of everything that goes on in the kitchen. So thinking about the food, do you buy in bulk? Do you have spices? Do you have cereals? Do you have dried beans? Do you have canned vegetables? Do you have mostly frozen vegetables? What are you using for food and where are you storing it? Do you buy the Costco's bulk of paper towels that you would love to be able to store somewhere in the kitchen or near the kitchen? And then explain the next thing once you get their food storage needs and their utensils and pots and pans and knives and forks. Some people have kosher kitchens, so they need a place for separate meat and separate dairy. So you have to accommodate those things. You'll have people that perhaps on Passover, they're celebrating Passover once a year. However, what happens is in order to go do that, they have to trudge all the stuff down in the basement and come all the way back up and then put it all away. And I've had homeowners where they say, well, I want those dishes readily available. I would like them here if we can make some kind of an area for that so that I don't have to go up and down to the basement and get my stuff. So we're easing their storage, easing their use of space. We're making their space, we're improving on their space. And then you want to ask them if there's any physical impairments. Somebody could have sight impairments, somebody could have physical impairments. Even if somebody has, what do I want to call it? Oh, God, I can't even think of the name. And everybody has it as I can't even think of when you have difficulty moving. It comes on with age. My cousin's husband died of it. Oh my God, I can't even think of the name. Oh well, so like moving against the countertop, some people use it as like a barrier to hold them up. And then if there's a bump out in the countertop, that can interfere with someone being able to move around their space. So you want to be able to make sure, and if somebody has visual disabilities, you want to make sure that you have some kind of a contrast between the edges of countertops and the floor, the cabinet, color variation, or shades of light, dark, and medium to vary the space and distinguish someone who's visually impaired to see the edge of the countertop and go, oh, I can't really quite see it, but I know it's here because it's darker than this area here, which is the floor. Do they have a wheelchair? You'll be surprised. Some people have their mother-in-law come over who's wheelchair bound or who has a walker, and even sometimes people get hurt. You could get hurt. Or one of the designers was hurt. What'd she do? Break both her ankles? And she was in a wheelchair in her kitchen. And, what she discovered being at that wheelchair height on what you need to reach and getting around in the kitchen and doorways, really quite fascinating. And then you also want to ask what kind of food do they eat on a daily basis? So you've got their food. Like, do you eat salad every day? Do you steam rice every day? Do you make bread every day? Every culture, everybody does something a little different. So then you want to ask them, okay, what is it that you want in your new kitchen? What's your appliance wish list? Okay, now you got to make the customers think about their appliances before they start encroaching on a kitchen project, because They come to you, I picked out these appliances. You know what? You might have blown your budget on appliances because you didn't realize that it was this much money to do cabinetry. So you always want to get the customer to work with you as a package, okay? So you're going to say, "Well, what is your wish list for cabinet for appliances?" They could wish for a separate cooktop and a separate wall oven. They want a side refrigerator and an under counter. They want a whatever, double wall oven, warming drawer. You have to take those appliances and minus them from the area that you're able to put cabinetry. So if like sometimes it just doesn't fit. Like if you want to have that wall oven with a double wall oven, that doesn't really work. You know what you're probably better off doing in your particular case? Get an oven, a slide in range with or a cooktop with an oven below it, and then put another oven somewhere else, maybe lower or higher, whatever. But you work with the appliances the same way that you work with the cabinetry. It's a marriage. They go together. So there's nothing, the customers have to kind of, I like when a customer does not have their appliances, but you want them to think about what they want in their kitchen, because we want to give them as much of their wish list as possible. And then ask them for their aesthetic. What kind of style do so this is last on the list. What's your style? What do you like? Show me some inspiration pictures. Go on House, go on Pinterest and get your inspiration pictures and show me that. So, and I tell people whatever the picture is, it could be one little thing in the picture, like the shelves and nothing else around it. But when you start picking out pictures, your customer is unaware of the fact that they really do have this style, and you as a professional are able to absorb their style that they're not verbalizing to you, but they're showing to you visually, because we are visual people, and the layperson doesn't know what I mean about an I-beam and a column. They all try and think that they can make up fancy words and they sound like they know what they're talking about, but they don't, and that's okay. That's why they have me. And then you want to take any other notes that you want to. What I have was taught was ask people what they want in their kitchen. Okay, so you've gone through all of this. What's your kitchen questionnaire? Then you want to ask the client after you've done your intake. And you might come up with other questions to ask along the way. This is a guideline for you to use to ask your customers stuff, but then you can add to it as you go. It's you can modify it, nothing written in stone. What you want to do is ask your customer what they want their new kitchen to look like. Okay, they want this, they want that. When they start dreaming, then you get them to go and you think negatively. Now you're going to get them into the negative mode. And you say, "Tell me everything you hate about your kitchen now." So then you're going to write all of the pet peeves that client, those are the client's sore spots. And those are the things that they don't like. So not only are you finding all that information out, you're also setting up a negative thought towards their kitchen existing. And then you're going to wrap it around and bring it home and say, "Well, I can solve all of those problems for you now that I've done a thorough intake and I understand what your needs and wants are, how your family lives, what your storage needs are, and how you use your space and what you don't like about your existing space, and we're going to make it better." So that's the circle of the client questionnaire and sales and approaching your project professionally. And like I said, the customers don't get this, and they don't have, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just an information. I need to get to know you. I need to get to know you. I could talk to you, but I need to write down notes. And you know what? Help me help you and give me some information before I get started. It's very interesting when you get these client questionnaires because you really do find out a lot about how people live and what kind of food they have, how they cook. I found out some very interesting things about the way people live and the foods and all the cultures just by designing their kitchen and doing my client questionnaire. Um, that's what I find so exciting about kitchens is there's no two projects alike. There's no two designers that are alike. There's no two customers that are alike. And if you give one kitchen to 10 different designers, you're going to get 10 different layouts. So, and I always say form follows function. We're thinking about function first, and then the form comes after. Okay, guys, that's my little thing about the client questionnaire. And if you have any questions, give me a shout out. And tomorrow on What's New Wednesday, I have Dean Camastro, extraordinaire. He is the Northeast Regional Sales Rep for Doravit and the president of the Long Island Interior Design Society chapter. And he does a bunch of other things. He's like, I don't think he sleeps. He's one of those people that sleeps 5 hours and he's good to go. 5 hours, I get up, I go to the bathroom, I come back, I go back to bed. I'll pass you in the hallway. So you be you and I'll be me. And we'll see each other when we see. So and also don't forget to check out the Kitchen and Bath Design Academy. I'm working on the lighting courses right now. There's kitchen design basics, bathroom design basics, cabinet design details, lighting design. Launching new things every week. So I see you guys tomorrow. Okay. Ciao for now. Peace out. Go.